Welcome back to another interview. It is me, Pierce RORY, and today we have a very special guest. We have Bloodward. Introduce yourself to the people, bro.
Yo, let's go. I'm young Bloodward, based in the UK, artist, rapper, and singer. I'd say I try to be
Oh, Jack of
versatile.
all trades.
Yeah.
How you doing today, bro?
Oh, I'm very good, thank you. It's a beautiful day. Um, yeah, I'm just feeling good, excited to do this interview because it's my first ever interview. So I wanna smash it for you.
Yeah, no, bro. Like that's lit. Like that I'm your first interview because I know, like in the second interview with Okion, another artist that I did, she
Yeah.
said that I was her first ever interview as well. So I'm like honored, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're given the opportunity there, so like, I appreciate being able to come on the platform and just speak what I've got to speak, and just like big up the SEXCSTACY world scene.
Hey, bro. Like for real. Like I'm like honestly like flattered that you're speaking about like SEXCSTACY world in like a high regard. Like that's amazing, actually.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I can tell from how like you've how through your posts and your videos that like I can see the potential you see in it, and it's not
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that you don't pass it up. Like when you notice it, you notice it, and like if I can give any fire to it, if I can give any momentum to it, I'll be doing that because like I
yeah,
support it. I support it just as much as any of your other bros do.
yeah. Like we have a full team now. But anyway,
Yeah, that's dope.
first question that I wanted to ask you because I've been curious about this. What was your background like? How did you get started in music? Like, what made you like
Oh damn.
decide that you wanted to get into music? Like, do you have any
Um,
like influences at all or anything?
yeah, like it can be very long-winded if you wanted it to be. Um,
We
I
could
feel like
talk about that as much as you want.
yeah, I'll try cover some stuff, but I'll try not scatter it too much, and I'll keep it somewhat concentrated. But
Yeah.
um, from an early age, like I've been into music, like mostly rock music, because my parents were really big on their music.
Yeah. Same
So
here.
yeah, my dad was actually in a band. He was lead vocalist and guitarist.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I only found out more recently than not, but that I feel like it's in the bloodline kind of shit. Like he
Yeah.
had it so talented. He was doing it exactly around the age I am now, and I just picked up different types of music. Like I've gone from all sorts of ranges. From like I don't think I picked up rap hip hop for quite a while until I was like 14, 15, but I was really into my rock.
Yeah.
I could go from one spectrum to the other. Like I could do country to hardcore to opera to R&B or rap or something. So I've never been really like in tune with one genre. I've always been keen for all of it. But I think my music took off originally. I remember the interview you did with Panda and Vamp. Big up to them too.
Shout out them.
Panda said like one of the first tunes he made it with his mates just as a joke in school, something like that. That's literally how I made my first tune, and I still think it's a banger to this day, called 10 out of 10. Completely just being childish and just talking a load of bullshit, really. But that from those tunes, I learned kind of how to make tunes. I did some form of YouTube prior, so I had a bit of the equipment to be able to record my voice and know how to put a beat over it and shit like that. But apart from the family side, the blood family side, I have like my brothers who on by blood, they're my NTB gang. Big up to them. There was a core group of us where I was doing some of the lyrics, and one of them was doing the beats, but sadly he passed away. So rip my boy Young Yugi. Very Yu-Gi-Oh based. Like he was Young Yugi, I was T Kaiba. And we had just a vision and a dream, and also my boy it's a Bruce Lee thing, that's his tag. And we just had a vision to just get NTB on the map, get Sheffield on the map, which is where I'm from, my hometown. And yeah, big up Sheffield, Steel City.
That's literally what my city is called too. I live in Pittsburgh, and my city is called the Steel City as well.
Really? That's
Yeah, I'm
dope.
not even joking.
Yeah, it was from like World War times. We were the steel industry, so we distributed practically all the steel to England
Dude,
while the
that's
war was on and
crazy,
shit.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. So
twins.
we've got all that fresh ass stainless steel cutlery.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so we had a big vision to make NTB like the thing, and he was gonna make the beats and I was gonna hop on them and shit like that. But I've kept that alive with me. And that
That's
same, like,
fire. Yeah.
I won't let that legacy die because it's still in power, it's still in full effect. And it means a lot. Like
Yeah.
the MTB means a lot. That's a family to me.
I honestly
And
think
so
that's really fire, though.
yeah, like I ended up making an album, my first one, which was
Yeah.
Life's a Blur. And the first track on there, Till I'm On It, is a tribute track to my boy, Young Yugi, which I thought was beautiful. Like I'm always going to try rep NTB in it and rep the people that have helped me get where I am. But yeah, that's like how I've got into music. It sort of just started picking up. Like I had people in school like take the mick out of the tunes I was making, but like I've always been on that vibe. It does have an American kind of twang to it because I like trying to incorporate the both scenes.
Yeah.
I feel England is just all, it just seems to be all grime and drill. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of other styles out there, but it seems like we're on the map for drill and just stuff like that. I mean, there's Ed Sheeran and stuff, but I'm not in those categories, I don't feel.
And you mentioned that you were really like into like rock as like your main influence before like
that
rap
was
and
definitely
R&B.
a
Like what
very
bands
key
did you
one.
listen to?
What was that, sorry?
What bands did you listen to?
Damn. Like, when I say country rock, there was Nickelback in there.
Oh yeah.
Green
Look
Day
at
back
this
in the day.
photograph.
Oh, bro, don't. Oh, I still play those
Yeah.
tunes on guitar, I won't lie. But
Bro,
yeah, there was Green Day, My Chemical Romance. There was even like Party Next Door.
Bro, are we like the same person?
We may be. We are all alike
I
in
was
some
like
form.
I was really heavy into Party Next Door back in like 2013, I believe, when
Bro,
he
I've
released
sung my
Break from
heart out to
Toronto.
those tunes. And like I've even had like I to this day I vibe off like even older tunes like I listened to my dad's tunes and he did them in mid to late 80s, and I've got artists from the 70s who I really like just reflect on for lyrics and just like
Yeah.
how
And
pure the lyrics are, and they're so encrypted, and there's just so
yeah.
much meaning that could be behind it that you can kind of find. And that's what I kind of like to associate with my songs. Like I haven't made a tune that doesn't have meaning in it. There's no sentimental value to me in the tune. It's all there. Like I guess that was another reason I got into music. I was never
Yeah.
one to express my emotions verbally. Like I still struggle to this day to do such a thing. And I've always been fond of writing. I've always had notebooks, just writing notes and stuff down.
Yeah.
So early music, definitely, if you go all the way back in my SoundCloud, you'll see they're all really dark and depressing and somber tunes, which I really vibe with. Like, I feel that's where I find most comfort.
Yeah.
And it probably just stemmed from me writing how I felt down in a book and then finding rhymes, and it kind of turned into poetry.
Yeah.
So I did write quite a lot of poetry, and then it just turned into writing songs, and then it just ended up taking it over beats, and it just having the right people around me as well to be able to like get me in a place where I can make those tunes as well.
Yeah, and as far as like the poetry aspect goes, I believe that that's how I started. Like back then I was really like heavily influenced by like Breaking Benjamin, if you know that band.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was heavily
there was a
influenced by Breaking
tune on
Benjamin.
Oh my god. Bro, they have some hard tunes.
Yeah,
Is it
and
Bring Me to Life? Is it called Bring Me to Life? I can't quite remember.
no,
That's Evan's
Bring Me to
band.
Life was by another band, Evanescence, which is
Yeah,
also
that's
another
Evanescence.
amazing band. Yeah, shout out Amy Lee.
Yeah, I
But
used to listen to that shit.
yeah, I was influenced by Breaking Benjamin, and I remember the first ever song that I listened to them
Blow
was
Me Away.
"Dance with the Devil." No, it wasn't actually "Blow Me Away."
Oh damn, that was mine.
Did you used to play Halo growing up?
Yeah, I mean that's literally how I heard of Breaking Benjamin, and then I went
Yeah, bro,
stuck it on there, and
that's
I was like,
fire.
God damn, these have some hard tunes.
Yeah, no, that's fire. But "Dance with the Devil" was like the first ever song I listened to by them off of the Phobia album,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah, and the lyrics just resonated with me because like back then I was like going through like a lot of like dark shit, so to
yeah,
say. Like I was like going through like a rough time in middle school,
yeah.
and
Feel that.
what I would do is draw and write lyrics just freely, and then once I did that, I would always like show my mom my lyrics and like rap and stuff. And
That's dope. They could do it
yeah,
to your family.
yeah, like I used to share my lyrics with my family a lot, and my mom at a young age, when I was like young, she noticed that I had a passion for like music and art and graphic arts and everything. So that's
Yeah,
kind of how like that started to tie in with what I'm doing now, you know?
that's great. And like I guess with Breaking Benjamin as well, like there isn't a tune that they've got emphasis and they're like it is deep. Like I can understand how like
Yeah.
just listening to those sort of tunes can resonate with you because if you are in them kind of mindsets, it really does like it empowers you in some ways.
Yeah, and I believe like one thing that music is really lacking right now is just like serious talks with like mental health, man. Like, cause I
For
know a
sure.
lot. Yeah, exactly. Cause I know like a lot of things. Just like you want to hear music that will like turn you up, like just
Yeah.
vibe to, just get lit to. It's lit, but
Yeah.
like
Lit.
yeah, for real. And like I just feel like there needs to be like a certain niche for people to cling on to if they are going through something. I think that's just
Yeah.
really lacking. Like with
For
your
sure.
music, do you think that there's like a message towards like overcoming like your own demons? Like when you make music, do you go into the mindset that you want to release this on behalf of people that are going through something, or just feel like it's just you're not alone in the fight, so to say?
Yeah, for sure. Like I've had definitely all my tunes are rooted with my own personal battles and issues. Like
Yeah,
there isn't a tune I have that doesn't have like that sentimental value to it.
yeah,
Um, so a lot of the tunes I have made, I will have been in some sort of state of mind, which is very, like it may not be positive or it may be slightly positive, and I
yeah,
could do quite a somber, depressing tune over like a vibey ass tune. But I two of my top influences like XXX Tentacion and Lil Peep, like I gained a lot through listening to them. With
yeah, yeah,
they helped with my anxieties and everything that comes with it and how to deal with it. So they had some form of poetry that really resonated not with me but with millions of other people. So in that same sense, like they they weren't trying to associate, well, I don't feel they were trying to associate it with other people. It was about themselves, those tunes.
yeah,
It was down to their core and their demons, and it's like people resonate with it when they find they have those issues too. And so with my tunes there's definitely I'm putting my feelings out on a page. Like if you really listen to my lyrics, you could probably read me like a book, literally.
yeah, yeah,
I've got a lot of information in there which is very rooted to me, but then it'll be rooted to people around me and the situations I'm in, which are very similar to other people's situations. So I definitely feel there is an aspect of kind of preaching through my mistakes and my life situations that may be a struggle and more difficult to handle, but finding a way to handle it, because my solution's never to be negative. If I'm writing on a page, it's through positivity. I need it out on a page and in a form of melody or written beautifully enough to be able to post and be appreciated. Because it's like getting a demon out of your chest, and it's out in the world and can be seen by everyone.
Nice, like thing you just said there, because if I were to compare you to an artist, you kind of strike me as like Kid Cudi, to be honest, because I know like early on in his career, he was very vocal about depression and mental health and everything, and he integrated it all into his music, and which went to show for his like Man on the Moon albums, his Indica album. Yeah, and even on his rock album, he expressed a lot of just raw emotion, and just he was just an advocate for mental health. Because I remember in the song, this isn't off his rock album, but it's off of Kids See Ghost, Reborn. He literally was rapping about like just finding himself again, not having to be in a slump after all of those years. Like he even said in a Facebook post that he was not himself after a while. He just started to lose sight of who Scott really was, you know?
Yeah, like that's definitely it. Like he's probably spoke about it many a time in his songs, but I feel it's more of a reminder to himself. Like
exactly.
A few albums down the line, like you can have the same issues, but maybe a slightly wider perspective on those issues. So it's if anything, like it's like a reminder to him, like you're not losing touch of who you are. You're not off your grind or anything like that. You are still doing you.
Which leads me to my next thing with like famous rappers and everything. Everyone just looks at the famous rappers as if they just live this luxurious lifestyle and everything. But deep down inside, they are still human beings. They will feel hurt. They will feel sadness. They will feel depression. And people
100%.
don't realize that. And like we all have emotions. Like we all feel pain in some sort of way, whether it's through the loss of a loved one or just like fighting your own battle. I just believe that people need to open up and see that more, because fans towards artists that are like mainstream acts, they just look to them as robots. It's just people that only are there to make music instead of like actually regarding their own like feelings, which is why I respect the underground, because with a lot of artists from the underground, it just seems like they have more of a connection with their fans rather than a mainstream act. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's as if like I'm saying, we as in underground rappers that are, or artists are willing to show that. I feel the more you're in the spotlight, the less you feel you're able to express yourself. I'm not saying it's entirely correct, but there will be some form of realness in that. But it's if you're in the spotlight, got millions of eyes on you, it's harder to show vulnerability. And I feel a lot of people aren't willing to show vulnerability unless it's very encryptive and not really expressing correctly. And I think that is the issue, because there's so many more eyes on these top artists and top trending people, but they are just making it for the sound that sounds good, making it for people to bob on a dance floor to, or just turn up to. And that is good, I won't lie. But there aren't many artists out there that are willing to expose themselves to help others. But I feel more people are willing to do that when you've got less eyes on you. And if you build that from
for sure,
from that position, you come out stronger, because if you're vulnerable, you're showing all your weaknesses up front. You've got nothing else to hide.
Yeah, and like the thing that's sad though is that when artists don't feel like they have a platform to express how they feel and everything, they'll resort to even more damaging things like drugs and alcohol to cope with the pain that they're going through. And it slowly like destroys them over time. Like when you do drugs and alcohol when you're an artist, it doesn't make you the same person anymore.
No, or like you've seen it take toll on some artists, whether they've passed away or they just got absolutely twisted, and like you can just see like either the music diminishes or they're just not the same person. Like the Lil Xan,
Lil Xan,
like he off it absolutely all the time. And I'm pretty sure I've seen more recent than not that he seems a lot more sober and his tunes sound a lot more quality. He's got a lot more mentality in the songs.
Really, my comparison that I was gonna say was Young Lean, because when he started out, he like did drugs. Like, I remember hearing from his documentary in my head that he was in Miami in recording for his third album, I believe, for Warlord, and he started abusing drugs. He started doing lean a lot, and what really made him want to quit is when he started having psychosis issues when his manager Baron died in a car crash. And ever since that moment happened, Young Lean's music went from very silly to very serious in a way, with his own art and
like
everything.
A wake-up call.
Yeah, and he was like a more like artsy rapper when he started out in the game, but I remember one song that he did, Oreo Milkshake. Please listen to that song after this interview. That song is hilarious. But like, compare Oreo Milkshake to, let's just say, Red Bottom Sky, one of his most popular songs.
Yeah.
Those two songs are drastically different, and Red Bottom Sky came out after the death of Baron.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one of my examples. Like, oh yeah, another song that he released under his other alias from his real name, Hotel in Minsk. Like, that song is very emotional, and you can really like hear the emotion through his voice.
He's very attached to it, isn't he? Like, you can hear it.
Yeah, literally the first opening line is "Sticks and stones in my body, sticks and stones in my body. I want to leave my own body. I feel like I'm dying. Close my eyes and now I'm flying."
Yeah, damn, that's deep.
Yeah, and that's actually the first song I learned on piano.
Oh, sweet, that's gas.
Yeah,
gotta start somewhere. Why not with a Young Lean tune?
yeah, like no, Young Lean. I said this in like I think 2 of my interviews now. Young Lean was the first ever underground artist I've ever listened to.
Damn.
Like, yeah, like back in 2013, I was blasting Young Lean, Sad Boys, Drain Gang, and everything, bro.
Let's go. Like, I was very similar with Peep. Like, 2016-ish is like when I started really bobbing on Peep. Maybe late 15, like 2015. But
yeah, me and you are definitely the same person.
Hey.
I was definitely bopping Pete back in 2015 as well, with Schema Posse, with Jay Green and Craig Zen and Ghost.
Yeah, man, that's when it was popping. Like that, those I can't say those tunes saved me, but in some cases they saved me. Like, there was nothing like that, and that was a sound that really like resonated with me. Like, I fucked with it heavy.
Do you feel like your sound is different than all the rest? Like, do you feel like you have like your own unique twist to your music?
In retrospect, that I'm British and I do American style as well. I try to keep. I do like the American twang, but I try to keep the English accent there. But sometimes it is difficult in some cases. And I won't say that a lot of my influences are American.
Yeah.
But sorry, I forgot what your question was.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll repeat. Do you think like you have a unique style to yourself that's different than the rest? Yeah.
I don't think I've truly found my specific sound, the YBW sound. Like, I'd say right now I'm really versatile I'm bobbing on any beat. Like, I'm just having fun with it. And like, especially recently, I've been bobbing on beats that I would never really hop on, but I'm like, I can do these and they're sounding fire. And it's like, just broadening the range. So I feel quite versatile in that I haven't got a genre I sit in. There's not one that I'll solely sit in. I like to dabble in all sorts of genres. But definitely some of my tunes in particular, I think are very YBW sound. So there's definitely originality in it, but there's a lot of influence from a lot of different types of music involved.
And just by the way you're like talking to me right now, like I can tell that if you ever get big, you're definitely going to influence a lot of young kids
Hey, I
that want to
appreciate
become
that, man.
artists.
Like,
Yeah,
if anything, that's the calling. What I feel like, I don't know. I wouldn't be in the position I am. Like, I wouldn't say I'm in the like a top prime position, but who have made it big and who have made an impact on the world. They've never done it from having it all in the bag already. But
yeah,
I'm learning mine through hardships. I'm learning mine through experiences, whether they're positive or negative. And I'm really trying to show just what my true emotions are, and whether people actually care what my emotions are or not. I don't really mind
yeah,
about that. They don't really need to care about me, but as long as they can vibe with it or just understand it, then that's what I want to get across. Like, I want people
yeah.
to be able to understand something like it, because so many people are inside the box and they're too comfortable inside the box, and they really need to step out. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
still struggle to step outside the box and stay outside of it. It's easy to go
Evolving is
back to
key.
what you're comfortable with, but if anything, I just want to promote being out your comfort zone and just like doing you and vibing on your level. And if people aren't fucking with it, that doesn't matter, because you are. Like, that's what's important.
Yeah. Seems like you have a positive head on your shoulders for real.
I try keep it like that. It's the most important thing. Like, there's a lot of negative stuff that can happen, but if you go through those negative things, the positive is what's going to get you through it. So I always try to keep that positive head on.
Yeah, and on a closing note for this, I
Let's
wanted
go.
to say that I definitely see like a lot of potential just by not how you were like speaking throughout this whole interview, but like how you actually want to tie something meaningful into your music.
Yeah,
And that could resonate a lot with people that are going through something or feel like they're like giving up in the fight. I feel like your music, in a sense, is going to tell them, no, you're not going to give up. You're going to face your problem head on and defeat it. That's what
yeah,
I get out of this whole like energy that you have been giving
bro.
me, to be honest.
Yeah, that really means a lot. Like, I really do appreciate that. That's it. It's a calling that I feels needed. Like I say,
Yeah,
there was Peep and X who are huge influences in that kind of mental support, and there isn't
yeah,
much of it. And especially now they've passed away, I can't say there is much of that there. And I feel in some cases it is. I wouldn't be doing music just for the fun of it. Like, I enjoy it and it is fun, but I have meaning in it, and that's what makes it fun for me. For putting stuff out there that does mean something, and if anyone
yeah.
can take something away from it, that's my goal. um
And the other thing I wanted to say to you is, bro, don't make Bloodward just another rapper. Make Bloodward a legacy.
Hell yeah, that is you're in tune. you get
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
get the idea. Like, I just want to staple positivity. Like, there's so much negativity surrounding the world right
Yeah, and
now,
you're doing a
and
great
even
job at it too. Yeah.
yeah, like, man, if that's what I do, that's what I do. And I don't see myself hopping off the bandwagon, if that's what you'd want to call it. It is implemented in me. Like,
Yeah.
through all the tunes I've ever listened to, my favorite tunes have the deepest meanings, and I like searching for those meanings and finding, why did they say something like this, or what could lead them to think something like this. And it's like those questions that really take you to places that are important to yourself. Like, you need to
Yeah.
know these things yourself. Like, if people are feeling it, you'll probably feel it too some point in your life. So understand it through an experience. Like, if I go through it, I'd hope you don't need to go through it. So if you
Yeah.
listen to my shit, you have just that escape route on just like understanding what the issues are and how you can help yourself.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm only there
And
to help. That's literally it. I'm there to help. That's what I want to do.
yeah, of course. And my closing remark that I want to do for this interview is keep evolving, man. Keep
Hell
staying
yeah.
true to your craft.
I definitely will. Like, I'd say likewise to you. You're making big moves. Um,
Sure.
I'll
Thank you.
continue to support this shit. Like, it's important that you get this kind of community and fan base. Not, I wouldn't say fan base, just a base where
Yeah. Yeah.
people can relate, and it's the people you draw to this are people like me, and people with very similar interests. So
Yeah.
it's a community that will thrive, and I plan to be there for the ride as well.
Yeah, and with that being said, this concludes the Bloodward interview.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, big up. Thank you for having me, bro.
Ain't no person that can make me feel the way you do. I kept my arms extended, left me looking like a fool. You twisted stories, turned me into the villain. Did you even know it was my heart that you'd been killing? Did you even care it was a friend that you've been ditching? Switch your life up, saying everyone's been bitching. Run back to a mum in stitches, yeah, I need stitching. Yeah, I thought